So when looking at last night's loss to the Indiana Pacers, you have to start off with turnovers. The Knicks were very lackadaisical with the ball. They made silly passes. Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns. I don't want to look too much at the numbers, but you have to in the sense of the turnovers. Mikal had 5 of them. Brunson had 5 of them. Cat had 2 turnovers. Mitch had 2 turnovers. And then the bench did a good job of taking care of the ball. But, I mean, when your starting lineup has 4, 5, 10, 15 turnovers, like, how do you expect to win that game? Like, you're not winning that game. And then, of course, there was a couple of things that didn't go our way, right? The Deuce McBride 3 that was ruled out of bounds. He never was out of bounds. I thought there were some questionable calls. But the Knicks lost this game because of effort. They just got flat out hustled. Of course, the Pacers treated this like a Game 7. The Knicks treated this like Game 3 when they were up 2-0. I don't know what the Knicks were thinking. They just didn't come out with the right energy. Mitchell Robinson did, which, yeah, you look at the first quarter, it was 25-24. If the Knicks had held the Pacers to 25 points a quarter, like, they would have won this game, obviously. But the reason why the Knicks had such a good first quarter was because of Mitchell Robinson. I mean, he ended up playing basically the entire quarter. Grabbed a bunch of rebounds offensively, had immediately 5 offensive rebounds. And, Mitch after the game said that he just feels like he let his team down. So that's the difference between a guy like Mitchell Robinson and the rest of the roster is just effort, right? It's simply just effort. The Pacers, I don't think they're a better team than us. I don't think they're more talented. I think they're better coached, and I think they just wanted it more. Like, there's no doubt about it, right? And I'm not trying to be salty or bitter. The Pacers are an amazing team. But the Knicks, again, the first game of the series ended up being why the Knicks lost. I mean, how do you blow that, right? You're not a championship team. You're not a great team if you blow a 17-point fourth quarter lead at home. So the Knicks deserve to lose. I'm not going to sit up here and bash Cat and Brunson and Mikal. I could do that, but, like, who is that going to benefit? At the end of the day, everyone needs to be better. Cat's defense, I think, is the story of the series. Offensively, Cat was awesome. He's basically the reason why the Knicks even won. Basically, he is the reason why the Knicks won Game 3. And even Game 5, Cat was phenomenal. Game 1, Cat was great. But defensively, Cat was unplayable often at times in the series. Now, Cat had his moments, don't get me wrong. I thought Cat overall was actually pretty good defensively in the playoffs. But in the Pacers series, he was horrific. Drop coverage, Halliburton just floater after floater or a 3-ball, or, of course, blowing right by Cat. Can the Knicks win a championship with Karl Anthony Towns? That's going to be the thing. They got Brunson as well. So you've got 2 defensive liabilities. And whenever Brunson is off of the court, the Knicks are elite defensively. But again, Brunson's not going to be off the court very much. And you could make the argument as well that if Brunson had DiVincenzo and Hartenstein back instead of Cat, I mean, could you imagine how better the Knicks would be? So they need to figure out how to get these guys to be able to play together, to win together at a high level. It was only their first season. I definitely think the Knicks should run it back. If the Knicks can get Giannis for Cat, like if Giannis says, hey, look, I want to be in New York, and the Bucks respect that, and they, for some reason, end up taking Cat out and then flip Cat for, I don't know. But if the Knicks can make that happen, yes, do it. But outside of that, I don't think that the Knicks should trade Cat, just because you're not trading Cat and becoming better. Like the Timberwolves, I mean, yeah, like they trade Cat and they got DiVincenzo and they got Randall. But I think a large reason why they ended up being just as good is because Anthony Edwards took that leap, right? And Naz Reid, and they've got great role players. So I don't think the Knicks should trade Cat. Jalen Brunson was just not good last night. I mean, he was 8 of 18. He had 5 turnovers. But a lot of that as well was just the defense that the Pacers played. Andrew Nembhard specifically stepped up to the task, the challenge, and was able to get it done. Nembhard was horrible the whole entire series. And then Game 6 was Gary Payton, right? So credit to the Pacers. This says more about the Pacers than the Knicks. Like, I don't think any Knicks fan should be mad or upset in the sense of losing this series, right? How they lost it, yeah, I can get that. But just losing the series, Eastern Conference Finals with the first year of Cat and Mikal. I mean, first time in the Eastern Conference Finals in 25 years. Thinking this is a disappointing season would just be wrong. Coming into the year, I did say championship or bust, but, I mean, the Knicks beat the defending champions. They got out of the first round. I think they learned a lot from this, and they're only going to get better, right? I don't think the Knicks are going to regress. It's going to be tough to get back here, man. You don't just get to the Eastern Conference Finals for free. I mean, ask the Celtics that, but I think the Knicks are in a good spot. OG Anunoby was phenomenal. I mean, he really played his best ball of the season last night, 24 points on 10 of 18. OG did all he could. And then you look at Mikal Bridges, just 6 of 9. Efficiency was there, but 5 turnovers, and the defense just wasn't good enough, man. Now, Mikal is a former runner-up to Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know where that Mikal went, right? Even the Nets Mikal, I don't know what it ended up being, but Mikal Bridges was supposed to be the missing piece, and it just didn't happen. But I have a lot of faith in Mikal. I'm rooting for him. I like him, and hopefully next season he can be better. And then in terms of, let's talk about the bench. So Landry Shamet was phenomenal. He was a -1 in 16 minutes. Think about that for a second. Landry Shamet played 16 minutes and was a -1. Jalen Brunson was a -18 in 34 minutes. DeLon Wright was a -3 in 12 minutes, which, I mean, again, like, that's not terrible, man. Guys off the bench just losing by 3, like, it's really not that bad. It isn't at all. Deuce McBride was a -7. I'm saying he was a -4 because that 3 should have counted. Josh Hart was a -5 in 22 minutes. Hart had a horrendous past couple of games. You just really hate to see it. I mean, I guess in Game 5, Hart wasn't terrible. He had a lot of good plays, don't get me wrong, like rebounding and getting some and-ones. But just, the Knicks, Game 5 was just so electric. They had me thinking they were going to do this, and then they didn't. I mean, they end up losing by, what did we lose by, 17 last night? It's tough, man. Don't get me wrong. I mean, in the moment, it's hard to think about all the good that the Knicks did, but at the end of the day, it was a successful season. It just sucks that it was the Pacers, right? I mean, if losing to the Pacers again, like 2013, that devastated me. Last season sucked, and then this season, man, it just feel like we're the better team. I feel like all 3 times we played them, we were the better team. And then we just lost all 3. So obviously we weren't, but it sucks. In terms of what's next for the Knicks, not much. I mean, what are the Knicks going to do? They have no money. Jalen Brunson's on a Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady type of pay cut. Mikal Bridges needs an extension. He did say he was willing to take a pay cut. If he does end up doing that, I'll have a lot of respect for him because, like, even though I don't think Mikal was that great this year, but if he was on the open market, like, a team would be willing to pay him a lot of money. So if he takes a pay cut to help out the Knicks win, be very grateful for that. Karl-Anthony Towns is the thing. I mean, he's making like $60 million a year, like $55-60 million-ish type of contract, and he's a liability defensively. So the Knicks need to figure that out. I wonder how much of Cat's struggles were due to injuries, right? I'm not making an excuse at all. Like, don't twist my words. But it just seemed like Cat wasn't right out there. I don't know. I mean, I wish I could speak to Cat about that and ask him, how much of that was a factor. I just think the Pacers personally played great defense, especially Siakam. He just stepped up. Same with Nembhard. But Cat just looked like he was in excruciating pain in this game. I think he kind of just ran out of gas. And then the defense, the coverages were just blown, to say the least. And that's kind of going to do it. I mean, the Knicks end up turning it over 17 times. I mean, oh my goodness. How the hell did the Knicks turn it over 17 times after witnessing what sort of transpired the rest of the series? The Pacers had, I don't remember the number because I heard it was like 3 a.m. Don't ask me why I was still up. I mean, it was like 3 a.m. and I heard the number when I was listening to Knicks Fans TV's live stream. It was like 34 or 43 points off of turnovers in this game. In the series, it was over 100, well over 100. I mean, the Knicks deserved to lose. There's no question about it. I do think, though, that, and I think you guys will all agree with me, I think next season the Knicks need to go deeper into their bench. And regular season, play 10 to 12 guys. And then in the playoffs, probably play 9 or 10. I mean, I think that's the key, is that the Knicks, they played 13 basically more games than the Pacers did. That's going to add up. Fresh legs would have been huge. First of all, in Game 1, the Knicks would not have blown that with fresh legs. And then in this game, Game 6, well, it would have been 3-2, and then like the Knicks probably would have lost, and then they would have gone back to Game 7, and again, they would have been fresh. So, Thibodeau, I mean, he has a losing record in the playoffs. I mean, Mike Malone has won a championship. Don't get me wrong. I think the Knicks should look into Mike Malone. James Dolan will have the final say. That was reported by The Athletic, so James Dolan will have the decision to fire Tibbs. I just don't think you can fire Tibbs, given the fact of how many better coaches are really out there, right? Eric Spoelstra, I mean, if he was available, obviously this would be a no-brainer. I would fire Tibbs myself right now. But, outside of Eric Spoelstra and who was another elite coach, I don't know. I really don't know because I only watch the Knicks. But, there's not very many. Let's just put it that way. There's not very many. And Thibodeau, I just think that he came in, he got the Knicks back to the playoffs, back-to-back 50-win seasons, and now all of a sudden you're, again, a crazy fourth quarter comeback that didn't happen away from being up 3-2 and having a game 7 on your home court. So, yeah, I think the Knicks should probably just run it back, and they're going to have to win, though, because this is not the youngest team in the world. Karl Anthony Towns is 29 years old, which, don't get me wrong, 29, that's the prime of his career. Jalen Brunson's, 28? OG Anunoby's like 28. So the Knicks, and Josh Hart's 30. So there's not that much time left, like a couple of years to win a championship here. I do think, though, that in the next couple of seasons, the Knicks will be able to get it done. But we also have to recognize that the NBA is only going to get better. Like the Pacers are only going to get better. The Pistons are only going to get better. And then, yeah, so it's not easy to win a championship. The Knicks found that out the hard way. And again, I don't think we would have had a chance against OKC, so I'm not like that mad, right? If there was like a bad, like somehow like a Mickey Mouse Western Conference run or something, like the Mavs or something crazy had made the finals, and like, but no, like the Thunder have one of the best defenses in NBA history. Like the Knicks would have had no chance, especially Shea would have just dominated us in switches and things like that. So yeah, but that's all I got. That's all I got, man. I'm out. Knicks Daily. Thank you guys for the support this season. It's been surreal.